YouTube or Twitter, our Twitter feed, the Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. We're trying to get Scotty McKay up and running. First of all, let's start off by saying we send out our prayers to Hank Aaron family. A legendary home run hitter passed away last night and yesterday, Josh. I remember watching when he hit his 700, his home run to beat Babe Ruth, past Babe Ruth.
It was a historic moment because, number one, let's not forget, it was a totally different world back then. You had people running on the field celebrating with him. You would never see that in today's world, right?
No, well, the security would be such that you wouldn't be able to get on the field, I don't think.
Right. So to me, it's just it was symbolic of a different world back then. And number two, that stadium is about 3 stadiums ago for the Braves. They've built so many by a small country at this point.
April 8th, 1974, he hit his 715th career home run. And I'll tell you, Josh, I remember as a little kid watching, but my one vivid memory of that, and I remember as I see it again on replay, was that somebody made a big fish, like a fish net that was hanging over the left field wall. And I remember that hanging over there for most part of the beginning of the game, because he hit, I want to say he hit the home run in the first couple innings. So
he also hit off of a left-handed hitter, and people forget that.
Al Dowd
was a switch hitter.
Yeah. So, well, I'll tell you what, we did this last year too, Josh. Around in January, right around the 1st, we did our memoriam. People that pass away. There were a lot of big name sports figures, and it seems like it's continuing. I also heard that didn't someone else just pass away today? Larry King just passed away. So on a little bit of a little sour note, we get started, but there is new life in Philadelphia. The Eagles hire Nick Sirianni to be their head coach. Not their first choice, and not a choice. He wasn't sought after by most teams, but he lands in Philadelphia. Josh Henning.
So, Bill, I want to know, what was your initial first reaction? Like, were you happy? Were you sad? Were you, annoyed? Were you like, who the heck is this guy?
I don't want to say I was annoyed, because keep in mind, and you established this, on your show during the week, and also on my show last weekend, that Doug Peterson wasn't the first choice, and neither was, I don't think Andy Reid was either. So
Andy Reid was either.
Yeah. So it was like a wait. I was just, okay, we got a new coach. He's Italian. We got an Italian in there now. First thing I thought of, be honest with you. I don't know.
So
it's a wait and see.
But what was your thought about him as a coach? Like, were you like, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic? Like,
yes, of course, cautiously optimistic. And I'll tell you why, Josh, because if you look at, if you look at his body of work, I mean, he's been in the NFL for about 6 years. He's 3 years as an offensive coordinator for Reid, but he doesn't really have the play calling duties. So that, leads me to, but he's learning under the tutelage of a great quarterback and a pretty successful coach in Frank Reich. So he's getting a good foundation. He played football at a Division III school, Mount Union. So, I mean,
that's near and dear to your heart.
Well, I like the fact that he has that type of experience. It means a lot to me. It really does.
Well, I just meant the Division III aspect.
That's where we played. This is the 5th coach for Jeffrey Lurie and the Eagles organization. Of course, they had Ray Rhodes. His record was 29-34-1. Ray Rhodes won the Coach of the Year his first year, his rookie year. Did you know that?
Kelly went to the playoffs his first year too, so there may be not a great omen if you go with the playoffs the first year.
Yeah, and then of course Andy Reid was next, and we all know how successful he was, albeit he didn't win a Super Bowl. The Eagles at the time were kind of like the gold standard, right? I mean, talk about a gold standard. He had him in the NFC Championship 4 years in a row, and even though they didn't win, I would still consider Andy Reid a very successful coach. Then Chip Kelly, who, by the way, Chip Kelly went 26-21. And but he didn't last long because of his clashing heads with, the brass, the Eagles brass. Right? He wanted to do things his way, didn't get it done his way, so he left. And then, of course, Doug Peterson, 42, 37-1 with a Super Bowl win. And we will be talking later on today. We got a great show lined up today, Josh. We're going to be talking with legendary Super Bowl winning coach Dick Vermeil today. We'll talk to Coach Vermeil about his thoughts on the firing of Doug Peterson and the hiring of Nick Sirianni. Now, do we have Scott McKay in here?
I am. I'm back in.
Welcome in there, Scooter.
You wouldn't believe what I had to do to get it working.
Well, I can imagine. You always have all kind of problems, but at least we have you up and running.
Finally. Jesus.
So, John, we're talking about having Dick Vermeil on. We're excited about that. Coach Vermeil will be with us at 10:30 this morning, and then we'll so the first half of the show we'll talk majority about the Eagles, but then we're going to transition into the Philadelphia Flyers and the 76ers, who played last night, Scooter. The Sixers beat the Celtics, which I love. I can't stand, and it's so cool that both the Flyers and the Sixers are playing the Boston teams, the Bruins and the Celtics, like 2 in a row. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the hockey season this year. They're playing a lot of back-to-back games in the same town to, cut down on the traveling. But, it's neat. They're both playing, the Boston teams, and both difficult teams for the Sixers and Flyers in the past. But so far, so good.
Yeah, so big win last night, and we'll break that down. And, of course, the Philadelphia Flyers, you and I talked about this the other day, Scooter. We're enthusiastic about the Flyers. We think there's a better upside. We had that poll last week, our text board poll, who's going to win a championship first, the Sixers or the Flyers, and the Flyers dominated that poll.
Yeah, they look like the team that are ready to kind of take it to the next level. But, and we're going to talk about this for sure in the second hour. But, Carter Hart's struggling, in my opinion, a little bit. And I'm going to probably take a lot of backlashing for that. But
why would you take backlashing for that? He's struggling. It's a fact.
Yeah, well, it's a fact in the numbers for sure. He's making some great saves still and doing some, great things that he's capable of doing. But, he's letting up a lot of goals, and it's this team is not a team that scores a ton of goals. So when you get 4 goals, the Flyers should win those games, and they're not right now.
We're excited about that. I just think obviously their defense is struggling right now. Carter Hart isn't playing well, but they're going to put it together, Scooter. I firmly believe that the Flyers will put it together. Now we're going to have our Twitter poll question of the day. Let's do it this way. Can the Eagles' new head coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? Tell us why. Can Nick Sirianni fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? 609-403-0973 is the text board number. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. Can Nick Sirianni, the new Eagles head coach, fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? Give us a little reason why. By the way, just to let the winners last week know that your Flyers prize package has been sent out. So I just wanted to let people know. Let's see, I think Jason from North Cape May, excuse me, your Flyers prize package is on its way. All right. First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection, professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shore to center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. For more information, call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Everybody knows that winter can be harsh on your house, okay? If you're looking to replace those old, damaged, insufficient windows, call Steve at Steve and Rizzo Inc. I did. Steve and Rizzo replaced my windows, and they look great. Steve personally returned my call, and his team was nothing but professional from start to finish. With over 30 years of experience, you can't go wrong. So write this number down. Steven Rizzo, 856-547-1760. That's 856-547-1760. Ask for Steven. Also, check out his reviews online. They're amazing. All right, when we return, we'll continue Eagles talk here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Here's a long shot by Shake. It's got again. Shake Milton is on fire. Whoa.
The Sixers are in Detroit to face the Pistons.
Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
This is Camden County Freeholder Director Lou Capelli. COVID-19 continues to threaten our community, and now is not the time to let your guard down. Continue taking every safety measure possible to stop the spread. Mask up, stay 6 feet apart, get tested, and respond to contact tracers when they call. It's important to continue the fight and protect your circle. For the most up-to-date COVID-19 information, visit CamdenCounty.com.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Before you drive the all-new Nissan Rogue, you gotta ask yourself, how rogue are you gonna go? We talking be one with nature in the desert rogue? Go snowshoeing in Alaska rogue? Or take the long way home just because kind of rogue? Just a question, but with 5 available drive modes, you're sure to find the answer.
Go rogue in the all-new, fiercely reimagined 2021 Nissan Rogue, now with the most standard safety features in its class. See Owner's Manual for important safety information. Auto Pacific segmentation. 2021 Nissan Rogue versus latest in market competitors. Base models compared.
Beachcombing, baking cookies, learning French. Aren't these what you'd rather be doing than thinking about your Medicare prescriptions? Well, Walgreens is here to help you get back to it with convenient refill and pickup options, expert pharmacists to answer all your questions, and Medicare copays as low as $0. Zero. Which is also the number of cares in the world you'll have as you stroll the beach, eating cookies and speaking French. Oh la la. Walgreens.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans where Walgreens is a preferred pharmacy.
Every play is a play to bet on. Whether it's who scores next, a three-pointer, or a free throw, it could be the play that matters to you. So bet live at Unibet Sportsbook. Live betting options for every moment of the game. Sign up today and get $250 risk-free. Download the app or visit nj.unibet.com. Unibet Sportsbook. Crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in New Jersey. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dealing with battery problems? We can help you out and get you ready for the colder weather ahead. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a free charge, we can help with that too. And if it's time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2019.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. You can check us out today on our 97.3 ESPN live stream on Facebook YouTube, and Twitter. You can see how good looking Scott McKay is. I know Eric Holloway just sent me a text, Scooter. He said, those ratings are going to drop now that you can see Scooter.
Really? I hope 10 speeders drive by his car all at once.
All right, Josh Henning's back in the studio pushing the buttons, making it all right. Scooter's at his house. I'm at my house. Scotty McKay, how do you feel about the new head coach? First of all, before we get there, how did you feel about the Eagles firing Doug Peterson?
I understood it. Listen, he had a terrible season, and I think it looked more like he lost the team than just he had one bad year. So I was fine with the move.
All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board. The question is, can the Eagles' new head coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? Give us a little explanation. 609-403-0973 is the text board. I got to be honest with you, Scooter. I was a little ticked that they got rid of Doug Peterson, but I understand why. Look, he wanted more say in the talent evaluation process, and he wanted more control over the team, and that's I think that's not too much to ask for when you're the head coach of a football team, Scooter.
Well, obviously, but that's also not worked in the past for this organization. Obviously, when Chip Kelly came in and they gave him the reins to do what he wanted, it backfired terribly. So maybe they were a little gun shy because of that. And, they just figured, you know what, let's just keep going the way we're going, Doug, and see what happens. But like I said, I remember, I think I said to you probably about week 10 or so, week 10 or 11 maybe, I saw Doug Peterson's news conference after the game, and he looked defeated. It looked like he just got yelled at by his mom. He was like, he obviously didn't want to be there because of the way they were playing, but he just looked defeated. And
well, if you're a head coach, you want the autonomy to be able to make decisions that affect your team, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is you're responsible for the wins and losses and how this team plays. And how their win-loss record is. So if you're going to take the heat when you're losing, you should be able to take the credit when you're winning, and by doing so, have the ability to make those decisions. And I guess in Philadelphia, you don't get that. The Eagles obviously go out and get a guy in Nick Sirianni who is going to be pretty much he didn't interview with anybody else. He's going to be cheap. He's not going to cost you a lot of money. And since he's a first-year head coach, they're going to be able to tell him what to do.
Well, yeah, he's new to the job, so I think his first, order is to grab the best coaches, probably guys that have been head coaches in the league, and grab all the experience you can and surround yourself with those guys, because obviously he's a good coach. He's done some great things at the places he's been at, but now he needs to find, like the Jim Caldwell's guy like that, to surround himself with guys that have been around the game and have ran organizations, and to help him succeed in this.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. Can Nick Sirianni fix Carson Wentz? It's a yes or no question, but you tell us why. 609-403-0973 is the text board question. We're going to have Coach Vermeil on at the bottom of the hour, and to this day, Coach Vermeil remains the youngest Eagles coach hired by the Eagles. He was 39 years old and 100 days when he took over in 1976. So he's a perfect guy to talk to about what type of challenges that lie ahead for the young Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, he's going to be a great guy. He would be a great person for Nick to have some input with, maybe consulting with the team a little bit on how he overcame those, some of those challenges he had when he was 39 years old. So hopefully Dick's around.
Well, there was an article in this week's Daily News written by Marcus Hayes, and Dick Vermeil, Coach Vermeil, appeared on another radio station, and he was very critical of the Eagles' firing of Doug Peterson. And I'm not so sure the word firing is appropriate, because, I think Doug Peterson, like we said, wanted more control. They didn't give it to him. I mean, why the word firing? Maybe that was a little bit too harsh, but we'll ask the coach, because I'm almost certain that Coach Vermeil, when he comes into a coaching situation, wants to have, the ability to make those decisions. Most coaches do, Scooter.
Well, do you think it was a mutual agreement, for him to leave and move on?
I think at the end of the day he was fired, but I think he wasn't. He didn't want to. They saw the Lurie and Howie Roseman saw that Peterson wanted to be more, involved in the say what the day-to-day operations of the team or the talent evaluation, and they weren't on the same page, so they decided to part ways.
So do you think that just happened recently, like this year? Do you think they gave him more say back after the Super Bowl win?
No, I think once once a coach wins the Super Bowl, he's going to start pounding his chest a little bit, and maybe that's where the problem was. The problem started. But listen, here's the thing: Dick Vermeil is a legendary Super Bowl winning coach, very successful, and I value. Obviously, we all value his opinion. That's why we got him on, and I can't wait to talk to Coach Vermeil. But you and I also talked about. How about Deuce Staley being passed over for coach?
I know. Talked that was where we used it. More like argued about it, but I just listen. They have their hands on the pulse there, and if they didn't feel that Deuce Staley was good enough to be the head coach or just the best choice that they had options of, I mean, listen. If we just hired one guy and never did any interviews, the whole fan base here would be up in arms. Because they didn't try to get who they felt were the best guy. And you're never going to know. You're not going to know up front, this guy's definitely the best guy. But apparently Deuce is not their guy in their minds.
Well, you and I got some heated arguments during the week about the fact that they gave Deuce Staley a title that was all symbolic. And I'm thinking, what were they just stringing him along? He was an assistant head coach. And if you get that title and the head coach leaves, wouldn't that be the natural progression to have him move up?
No.
Why not?
Not in a million years.
Why not?
Because the title doesn't mean anything. You have to prove that you've earned the job as the head coach.
Well, if he has the title, if it makes you the assistant head coach, isn't that you've earned it?
Didn't we talk about this? Didn't we talk about how he was he was given that title to appease him?
Well,
correct?
Is that how the Eagles work? Is they just appease people?
Well, make the guy's been here a long time. Make him feel good. If that's going to make him feel good, then he doesn't deserve to be the head coach anyway.
Is that the gold standard? I mean, some of the things that the in the press conference just makes me laugh. The gold standard. They're now a quarterback factory. They've got five prospective GMs that could be GMs in this league. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes Lurie says stuff that just makes me roll my eyes.
Well, if they didn't, like I said, if they didn't believe that Deuce was the right guy, then you don't hire him as head coach. I don't care what his title says. It doesn't matter.
I think it's a slap in the face. And if I were Deuce Staley, I would probably start looking elsewhere. Now, we just, at the bottom of the screen, it says Howie and Lurie, I feel honestly just wanted Sirianni just so they could tell the two stooges could tell him what to do. If they hired McDaniels, he would have had a lot more input. Yeah, they didn't want McDaniels. McDaniels probably didn't want to come here because he wanted probably too much say in what goes on, just like Doug Peterson did.
Well, he was probably one of the longer interviews that they had, so he probably was interested in coming here. And maybe they decided, he wasn't going to be the guy. He was going to want to take over. And like I said, it wasn't too long ago that Chip Kelly did that, and it backfired terribly.
Well, that was Chip Kelly, and I didn't like Chip Kelly from the beginning. How about that? I was on record as saying I couldn't stand the day they hired him. With Sirianni, to be honest with you, I have no feelings. I'll give him a chance. I'm going to see what he can do. I'm not going to start be negative Nelly. You know what I mean? And start ripping him. I got to be honest. I got to be fair.
Well,
give him an opportunity.
I like the hiring in a sense because I feel that two of the Eagles' biggest issues this past season were their wide receivers and their quarterbacks. And Sirianni's got his expertise is in
and
both
their
of those.
offensive line.
Well, that was injury. So
this is the point that Dick Vermeil is going to make and has made is the fact that with all the injuries and the way that the COVID and the way everything played out this year, Doug Peterson should have had another year. And we're going to talk with Coach Dick Vermeil coming up in a few minutes. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. Ken the Eagles' new head coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? 609-403-0973. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations. Invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like-new Maseratis available on the market. But your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the mainline, today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll be talking with Coach Dick Vermeil. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, coming up on Monday, we'll recap the Sixers weekend and the Flyers. Plus, we'll look ahead to the Eagles all-season football at 4 with Jeff Mosher. Plus, don't forget, you can watch the show live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all through 973ESPN.com. We'll see you Monday.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's sports leader.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call and again and again. Call and again and again.
Anything and everything and anything. If you can dream it, we can create it. Masks, hats, shirts, bags, banners, mugs, and cups. Hoodies, goodies, tees galore, sweats, gloves, and stuff. Whatever you need to stand out in the crowd. Call New Century Custom Apparel, where you'll find all your favorite custom apparel from all the leading brands.
New Century, whatever you need.
Baldy here, Brian Baldy here for the insurance doctors. You know, when fires, floods, storms cause property damage to your home, you need a company with 40 years of experience as property loss advisors. I know my yard got crushed this year by a flash storm. Damage to my yard, my fences, it needed to be restored. The insurance doctors came in and they got me a great settlement. With cold weather and storms just around the corner, you know, wind, storms, ice, they can cause broken pipes, roof damage, down trees. Let the insurance doctors work for you. Call them today at 856-874-8377 or 1-800-969-6851 or visit the website at insurancedoc.com. That's insuredoc, INSURDOC.com, and tell them Baldy sent you.
On some models, excludes Corvette with GMF financing, excludes prior sale. See dealer for details.
Start the new year in a new Chevy at Bennett Chevy. Come see all the hot new 2021s and get our famous unbeatable Bennett deal. GM supplier employee pricing, plus you keep all the rebates. And right now, that could be up to 25% off MSRP. Yes, up to 25% off. Shop all you want, but there's just no beating Bennett. Looking for pre-owned? Bennett will pay you a minimum $7,000 for your trade towards any pre-owned in stock. That's at least $7,000, regardless of how or even if your old car runs. Imagine how much you'll get for a good trade. And you will absolutely love dealing with Bennett. There's no games, no gimmicks, just real deals and no need to negotiate, because our non-commissioned sales team is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Find new roads and start the new year in a new Chevy at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN. We are live streaming today on 97.3 ESPN live streams on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can actually see us. So
That's scary. Hey, listen, I think you ought to call Steve from Steve Rizzo Inc. and have him do some painting in there.
Yeah, get paint my room.
Yeah, paint your room, man.
It's my
your man cave.
Excuse me, my man cave. It doesn't have to look good, but now that it's a studio, we'll have to make some adjustments here. And we are waiting for Coach Vermeil. In the meantime, I'm going to let people know that we're the Twitter poll question of the day, or excuse me, not the Twitter poll question. The text board message question of the day is, can Nick Sirianni fix Carson Wentz? Can the new Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni fix Carson Wentz? What do you think, Scooter?
I think it's a loaded question.
It's a loaded question.
I'm not sure Carson Wentz is going to be here, but if he is, I hope he can. I really hope he can. He's been a quarterback's coach and a wide receivers coach, so those are two advantages he has over maybe some other coaches to help maybe get this ship righted.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. Can the Eagles' new head coach fix Carson Wentz? You know, they got all that money wrapped up in him, Scooter. And, you know, it doesn't make any sense to go another way, I don't think.
Well, they got the money wrapped up in him, but that's only against the cap, you know.
And now that Phillip Rivers has retired, that leaves a vacancy in Indianapolis for Coach Frank Reich, who it's been documented that got along and loves Carson Wentz. They're like, I heard they're like $60-some million under the salary cap. So that could be a perfect fit. The only thing, the dead money against the Eagles would be a lot to over, you know, that's a lot of money on a dead cap.
Yeah, it sure is. There's no doubt. But I mean, what do you do to Jalen Hurts if you bring back and all you're concerned with is fixing Carson Wentz? What do you do to that guy? Do you leave him around as a backup? Do you?
Well, he's under a rookie contract. What did he think when he first got drafted here? Do you think he was going to unseat Carson Wentz from day one?
I think he's hoping to. If he's a professional, sure, he wants that job now. And then you've given him 4 games to kind of prove himself. And though they won only 1 of the 4, he looked good at times. He made that team improve over that course of time. So I don't know. I think you're in a loaded situation, and you know, Nick Sirianni is going to come in here with his hands full.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. Can Nick Sirianni fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? Give us a reason why. Now, we're trying to get in touch with Coach Vermeil. We'll keep trying. But Scooter, I got to tell you, man, and I alluded to this earlier, that, you know, just at the parade when Doug Peterson said this is going to be the new normal, look how fast things changed.
Yeah, he's out of a job in 4 years. So that's listen, I think we have to get over the fact that he was the head coach in winning the Super Bowl 4 years ago. We've got to move past that at some point. It's not, I hate to say it, it's not, you know, what you did for me years ago is what you're doing for me now. And this year was disappointing in a lot of ways. Not all his fault. nowhere near all his fault. But he's a leader, and though he took all the good stuff about the Super Bowl win, he's got to take all the bad stuff when they're not playing well.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Can the Eagles' new head coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? 609-403-0973. You know what I have here, Scooter? Look at this.
What do you have there?
Let me see if I can reach it. Here's what I have here, Scooter. You know what this is?
A fake Super Bowl trophy?
It's the Lombardi trophy, baby. Right? So people on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook can see this. It's the Lombardi trophy. This is what we're trying to fight for.
You got it. But
right?
We're a long way from fighting for that. Hey, I obviously, when we knew we had a new head coach in this town, we're going to be talking about it today. I did some research, and I'll tell you what, some of his career stuff already is pretty good. We haven't had a wide receiver over like 540 yards in the last so many years. I mean, which is pretty pitiful. Back in 2017, he had, and listen to these names: Tyrell Williams, Dontrell Inman, and Travis Benjamin's obviously probably the most famous name of all. Tyrell Williams had over 1,000 yards receiving. Dontrell Inman had 810 yards. Travis Benjamin had 670. Our top guys the last 2 years were 539 and 490.
Those names that you just read, I don't even recognize them.
Exactly.
Who are they?
And Nick Sirianni was the wide receivers coach for that team, and they had 3 guys that equaled over 2,500 yards. We don't have 10 guys that have 2,500 yards. So I'm hoping that he'll be able to do something with Jalen Reagor, Travis Fulgham, and, hopefully we'll pick up either Devontae Smith or Lamar Chase as a 6th pick of the draft this year. And, I'm looking forward to him working with those guys and bringing in the right people to help him do that.
All right, let's go to the text board, Josh. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Let's go to some of the replies. What do you got, Josh?
Yeah, well, and we'll also get to the listeners who can comment on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We'll get to those comments in just a moment as well, but we will get to a couple texts first right now here on the locker room. Billy, we have a texter who says, Howie Roseman created this quarterback mess. That's why he should be fired. He should have never drafted Jalen Hurts after extending Carson Wentz. The whole thing is dumb. That's on the text board.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. Keep them coming. What do you got, Josh?
We got Anthony over on YouTube. Pop that up on the screen for you guys. That's what he thinks. He thinks an Italian coach was a good idea for the Eagles.
Well, I think that's the first Italian coach in probably ever, I think, right? I can't remember an Italian coach. Greasy Neal, was he one? I don't know.
No.
What?
I don't think so.
Well, got an E at the end of his name, right?
Is that what it is?
What did Rich coach tell you? I mean, come on.
No,
yeah, right.
Well, I don't know. Well, no, not my lifetime. 609-403-0973 is the number. Josh, got another one?
Yeah, we got another one for the YouTube here. This came in a little bit ago. It's a very long answer, by the way. So I'm just going to use the one answer from this gentleman. It says Howie and Lord.
I read that one, Josh.
Okay, well, sorry.
All right.
Yeah, you're talking about
the Two Stooges, right?
Right.
Well, he commented this as well. He says, I mean, you can't have that much success with a lousy wide receiver core. It's just not happening.
I agree. Actually, they had some decent success with the young guys.
How about if let's look. Jalen Hurts was sacked a lot too for being as mobile as he is. There was a couple times where he was sacked 4 and 5 times, a couple games in a row. So the offensive line, keep in mind, guys, it was 13 different combinations.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. I've said this numerous times. My only issue with Carson Wentz was that 2 things. One, I didn't see any progression in his play from week to week. I didn't see him eliminating mistakes and getting better. I didn't see him moving the ball quicker when he was holding on to try to extend plays. And also after every game in his press conference, I'm not going to change the way I'm playing. Well, guess what? If you're not going to change the way you play, you're uncoachable. And now this team has no chance of going forward if you're just going to do what you want to do. So I think that was the reason he sat. And I'm not so sure that Jalen Hurts at this point isn't a better option to go with.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. Can the new Eagles' new head coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Keep him coming. 609-403-0973. Nick Sirianni, 39 years old, grew up in Jamestown, New York. Grew up a Buffalo Bills fan, Scooter.
Well, and now he's going to be the head coach of the Eagles. I mean, pretty neat, I like it. He's a young, aggressive guy. And, listen, we have no idea how it's going to work out, but this team needs a lot of things other than just a new head coach.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, while we continue to work to get coach for me, I want to let people know that the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts helping through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you at 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, New Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees it fit for your business, send an email to Ken at jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Scotty McKay, Josh Henning on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. And don't forget to check out our live stream at 97.3 ESPN on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Tomorrow, it's the championship round of the NFL playoffs as we bring you a special doubleheader. First, Tom Brady duels Aaron Rodgers as the Bucs take on the Packers in the NFC title game. Then it's the top two seeds in the AFC when the Kansas City Chiefs host the Buffalo Bills. Hear the playoff picture unfold right here.
Listen to the championship round of the NFL playoffs tomorrow, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM. Coverage begins at 2 p.m.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
CleanRental.com, a fresh approach to uniforms. Your uniform supplier. If you're a business owner, CleanRental.com asks you the following questions. 1. Are you completely satisfied with the quality of the uniform rental program you are currently receiving? 2. Are you completely satisfied with the service you are receiving from your present uniform rental company? And 3. Have you had an experience in the last 6 months where the response time to any request has been less than satisfactory? If you're a company with 50 employees or more, please give CleanRental.com a call at 1-800-825-3266. That's 1-800-825-3266.
cleanrental.com, a fresh approach to uniforms. Give them a call today.
What are your 2021 goals? To get rid of those wrinkles, flatten your tummy, or enhance your breasts? If your 2021 goals focus on refreshing your face and body, Dr. Lyle M. Back can help. Dr. Back offers Botox and fillers, tummy tuck and liposuction, breast augmentation, and so much more. Dr. Back can even help men who have gynecomastia, aka man boobs. Call Dr. Lyle M. Back to accomplish those 2021 goals. Call 856-MAKEOVER or visit ilovelylback.com.
Back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. We got a couple big games tomorrow, Scotty McKay.
Yeah, we got the Packers-Bucks early at 3 o'clock, and then Chiefs-Bills later at 6:40, I think it is. Gonna be some good. You know what? Isn't it amazing? I thought at the beginning of this year when Tom Brady left New England and went to Tampa that they were going to struggle miserably, and they kind of did a little bit in the beginning of the season. And now here they are fighting for the NFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl. What amazing!
By the way, what Super Bowl was that Super Bowl 2 or 3 that they Super Bowl 1 or 2 where they played the Packers and Chiefs played, right? See, the ticket prices were like what, $7-8?
Right, I know. Isn't that amazing?
I can afford to go to that game, Scooter.
Right, gas was probably 50 cents too.
Remember when we were younger when you used to go? I remember when I first got my license, back in '78, I guess it was. We used to ride around all night in the car and go to the gas station probably like 2 or 3 times and fill up.
Well, here's a funny thing. I drove to Florida, from New Jersey in a Subaru back in the day.
Whoopie-woo?
On I think it was 2 tanks of gas to get the whole way to Florida, like 1,200 miles. I mean, because they got 40-something miles at a gallon, and it had like a 18-gallon tank or something like that. I got all the way down to Florida, which was amazing. It cost me probably $20 to go to Florida. So not even.
All right, so the Packers. What game intrigues you the most tomorrow?
I think the second game, the Chiefs and the Bills. I really do. I think the Buffalo Bills are playing well. I mean, it's exciting to watch them. They kind of are an underdog, even though they were probably favored in the first couple games. They're still an underdog to me, and I like it. I think they got a chance of knocking off the Chiefs.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes practiced yesterday. It looks like he's going to be playing. Josh Allen, while he's having a great year, I just don't think. And I want the Bills to win. I mean, I like Andy Reid. I know I never had anything against Andy Reid. Did you? Did you ever have anything like some people?
No.
I mean, I know he went 4-12 his last year, and people got tired of his press conferences where he didn't give you much. Time's yours. I mean, he was stoic. He had some family problems, and just the way that whole thing ended, I didn't have any animosity. I didn't have any animosity towards that.
He was a winner. There's no doubt about it. He just couldn't get over the hump to win the Super Bowl until he went to Kansas City. But I didn't dislike the guy. I just felt like he had run his course, and it was time to move on.
So I was growing up. I was a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. I mean, I was the Eagles first. That was my AFC team or AFL team, and but I will say that I like the underdog, and I want the Bills to get to the Super Bowl.
I think that'd be neat. I think I wouldn't bet them to go there. No. And listen, Patrick Mahomes could be one big hit away from sitting out the rest of the game, and that really changes the course of the game. But he seems to be okay now. He's past his, protocol. So,
do you think you think he really did? Do you think? I mean, they're obviously the team checks him out, but then there's an independent doctor. This is a big game, Scooter. Lots riding on it. Do you think?
Boy, I hope somebody's not making that kind of a decision.
Can you imagine if you're the doctor that said he can't go? The pressure you'd be under?
Well, yeah, but you got to give your opinion. You've got to give your opinion, and that's tough. I mean, listen, he couldn't even get up. He couldn't get his 2 feet on the ground. But then I saw him run to the locker room like he hadn't missed a beat. So. I think he was just stunned more than anything, and maybe a stinger or something like that kind of caused him to be a little goofy. But He seems to be all right. We'll see. But like I said, he could be one hit away from sitting the bench the rest of the game.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Can the Eagles' new coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Josh, you got a couple text messages for us?
Yeah, Bill, let's get a couple texts in here. 609-403-0973. We got Dan and EHC says, everyone speculated Frank Reich was the reason for the Eagles' success and not Doug. So with Sirianni hired, that should say it all.
All right. Give me another one.
We got Mike in the Villas says, Carson Wentz cannot be fixed, even though his mechanics were absolutely poor. He doesn't know how to step through his throws anymore. I think he's playing scared. He's afraid he's going to get hurt, and he's unwilling to change for anyone. I don't think it's going to work out with Wentz. It's from Mike in the Villas.
Well, Scooter, he sounds like you, Scooter. Mike,
that's right. Mike's a smart guy.
From the beginning of the season, Scooter, you were sending me texts during the game. Oh, look, he's not fundamentally sound. He doesn't step into the ball. He's not following through with his throws. His mechanics are off. His feet aren't set.
Yeah, it was awful. It was like he still had apprehension of his injury. But then it seemed like he started to get it together. But he just, listen, that you play quarterback, it's timing, man. It's getting your footwork is crucial to you throwing the ball the right way.
That's right. It is timing. And if the offensive line is a sieve and they can't block anybody, and you got 300-pound guys coming right in your face, it's a little difficult, Scooter. It's not as easy as it looks. I mean, you don't want to step into the ball. You got guys at your feet, guys coming at your midsection that are 350 pounds. I don't care. It's not easy, man. And if you solve the offense,
it was easy.
Well, it's not mechanics. I don't think it's all mechanics. It's not all mechanics.
So what you're saying now is in 2017, when Carson Wentz had his best year, and the Eagles had the best offensive line of football, that's the only reason.
Yeah, let's face it,
because the offensive line was good.
Guess what, Scooter? These football games are one up front. They're one in the trenches.
Right, but they're also, when you hold the ball for 4 seconds, I don't care what you could have 10 guys on the offensive line. It's not going to matter. He holds the ball too long.
Well, this is another. We're going to continue to try to get Coach Vermeil, but I'll tell you what. This is another reason why Doug Peterson probably should have been fired. I mean, they didn't look. And I'm not making excuses, but throughout all the injuries, through the COVID-19 protocols, the fact that they didn't have any OTAs, they didn't have any. Their meetings were virtual. It wasn't a normal year, Scooter. So I think
it was a normal year for everybody. Everybody had the same issues. Why did Patrick Mahomes turn into an awful quarterback?
They didn't have the same amount of injuries. We were devastated by the injury.
A lot of teams were devastated by injuries. And yes, we were definitely. There's no doubt about it. It's not an excuse of why they were 4-11-1. But we had some big injuries that cost us some things. But you've got to be willing to change, and he's not. Mike from the Villas, a smart guy. What's he talking about?
Yeah, okay. One more, Josh.
We'll go to the stream for the last one before we wrap up the hour here. We got a guy who checked back in on the stream and says, yup, the O-line was a revolving door every single week.
I mean, look, Scooter, once again, like I said, Coach Vermeil was quoted saying that he didn't think Doug Peterson should have been fired. And frankly, I didn't either, but the die's already been cast. We moved on. We got a new coach. We're going to see what he can do.
Well, you had a rookie quarterback come in and wasn't sacked for 2 straight games with the same lousy offensive line. So what's that tell you?
Yeah, but then the
rookie
next
quarterback.
But then the next 2 games, he got sacked 4 and 5 times consecutive.
Okay.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. Keep the text coming. Can Nick Sirianni fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? Give us a little explanation. 609-403-0973. First hour's in the books. We'll try to continue to reach out for Coach Vermeil. We'll talk a little bit more here in the locker room with on 97.3 ESPN on the mobile app.
10 seconds.
And also, don't forget, we're on streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, where you can check out and check Scotty McKay's facial expressions out.
2, 1.
Trying to keep him calm today.
That's right. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Have your employees been naughty or nice? At New Century Custom Apparel, we have your screen printed or embroidered jackets, sweatshirts, ice scrapers, calendars, and thousands of other cool stuff. Call us at 856-810-9696. If you need custom apparel to promote your company or brand, we'll put your logo on fleece, outerwear, and more before the holiday rush. Call 856-810-9696 or online at newcenturyapparel.com.
On some models, excludes Corvette with GMF financing, excludes buyers sales. See dealer for details.
Start the new year in a new Chevy at Bennett Chevy. Come see all the hot new 2021s and get our famous unbeatable Bennett deal. GM supplier employee pricing, plus you keep all the rebates. And right now, that could be up to 25% off MSRP. Yes, up to 25% off. Shop all you want, but there's just no beating Bennett. Looking for pre-owned? Bennett will pay you a minimum $7,000 for your trade towards any pre-owned in stock. That's at least $7,000, regardless of how or even if your old car runs. Imagine how much you'll get for a good trade. And you will absolutely love dealing with Bennett. There's no games, no gimmicks, just real deals and no need to negotiate, because our non-commissioned sales team is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Find new roads and start the new year in a new Chevy at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Weightlifters and fitness enthusiasts, you got to check out weightliftinghq.com. They are a local company right here in South Jersey that operates fully online and caters to weightlifters and fitness enthusiasts interested in working out from home. They offer high-end weightlifting and fitness equipment available to be delivered right to your home. Check them out online at weightliftinghq.com and use the code RADIO10 at checkout for 10% off your entire order. That's code RADIO10 at weightliftinghq.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, over-designed, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5510 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5510. Enjoy.
Hey, bro. I don't think I can help you move Saturday. My back is really bugging me. I just don't think I can handle it. Sorry.
Hey, dude, it's John. I know I told you I'd be able to help you move. I think Michelle's really mad at me for something. What's that, honey? Oh, dude, I gotta go. Sorry, man.
Call Clark's Moving and Storage in South Jersey for your next local or long-distance move. Clark's, dependable and always shows up. Call 609-889-0780.
The radio home of the 76ers.
Into the lane, reverse windmill jam. Are you kidding me?
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ-HD, Millville, Atlantic City.
Red 83!
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, we are back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Today you can check us out. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at 97.3 ESPN live stream. You can check us out live. First time ever. I like it, Scooter. I like the artwork around the border there. Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. And then we also see the ticker going across there. Hey, I don't know. When you opened the show, did you mention about Hank Aaron passing?
Yes, we did. We talked
and how about Larry King too, huh?
Yeah, Larry King passed away today.
Wow.
You know, it's really weird, man. We're people from our childhood and people that we were, our sports legends, figures that were prominent when we were growing up, are all starting to,
I know. Well, I thought about that earlier today. That it's like people probably wonder, wow, what's the people pass away every year, but it's like these were like legends of when we grew up, when we were kids.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron was, and probably still is in some senses, the home run leader.
Yeah, I still look at him.
Yeah. I mean, Barry Bonds has the number, but he also had a number of steroids to go with it.
See, obviously you still have to hit the ball, and I don't want to get off on the beaten track. You still have to hit the ball, but when he did hit it, he crushed it.
Right. You appreciate the natural athlete for sure.
I just spoke with Ken Dunnick. Coach Vermeil confirmed that he'd be on with us last night. I hope nothing's wrong. I hope everything's all right. Ken's a little worried himself, so we'll keep trying. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. Can the new Eagles head coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Scooter, I want to ask you about the second game. Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady is the first time. They don't think they've ever met in the playoffs.
That's the first game.
Yeah, first will be the first game that they meet, and that's pretty wild. Obviously, they're in different conferences or different leagues, so the AFC and the NFC, the only way they'd meet would be in the Super Bowl, I guess, unless their schedules fell. But how can I say this? I want to see a good game. I don't have a dog in the fight. I probably won't play it. Actually, I'm probably not going to bet any of these games tomorrow. But I just want to see good football. And part of me wants Tom Brady to win.
Really?
Yeah.
What part is that?
So what part? My left arm, you dope.
Well, Jesus.
No, it's the left side of my
body. Why?
What part is that?
What part of your brain says you want Tom Brady to win? I mean,
what part of my brain?
Tell me your reasoning.
My reason, part of me wants Tom Brady to win because he'll solidify himself as the GOAT. Going in two different leagues, taking Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl would be such a story.
He's already the GOAT.
Nah, but this will put the final nail in the coffin.
You think? I don't think there's any nails needed. The coffin's closed.
He's been playing quarterback in this league since 2000, 2001. Right. I mean, the guy's like doing our whole lives. Our whole adult lives, the last 20 years.
So you don't want to see Aaron Rodgers win?
I like Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, I'm not a Bucs fan. Like, I don't like Tampa Bay's going up to Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
The frozen tundra. And they're going to go up against Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, there was a lot of people in the stands last week up in Green Bay. Excuse me, but I don't like the Bucs. I like the Packers better as a team. I like Tom Brady better as a quarterback. So part of me, I would say 75% of me wants Tom Brady to win, and 25% of me wants Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to win. But it would be a better story. Can you imagine all the hype surrounding the fact that if Tom Brady wins?
Well, let me ask you this simple question. Forget about what you want. Who's going to win the game?
I think Green Bay is going to win the game.
Okay.
But like I just said, I think it should be such a better story, more storylines, just so much. Now, there's a lot of people that have disdain for Tom Brady. I'm not one of those guys. I like Tom.
Well, everybody hates the winner. Everybody hates the guy on top. I mean, it's jealousy is what it is. It's one of those things where, you just listen, I've felt it a little bit. I've been coaching Cherokee for the last 22 years, and we won 8 championships. And some people in the league just don't like us not because we try to do it right. It's because we've won and they want to win. So I get it. I understand it. But
there's only 2 other quarterbacks that have led their teams in 2 different conferences to the Super Bowl. One was Craig Morton. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yeah,
way back in played for
Cowboys.
Denver, the Cowboys, and then of course Peyton Manning with Denver and the Indianapolis Colts. So it'd be a pretty exclusive club, and for I think it'd be appropriate for Tom Brady to be on that list. But I don't think they have it. I don't think they have it. Let's put it this way, Scooter. I don't think they have enough to beat the Packers tomorrow.
Well, I don't think they do either.
Plus, it's going to be. By the way, do you see the forecast? There's going to be 2 to 4 inches of snow that's going to be falling starting later on in the evening. So there could be a lot of flurries flying around. It's old-fashioned football.
Yeah, but that's not going to bother Tom Brady and Gronk.
No,
They're used to playing in the bad weather, snowy, cold weather.
That's right.
Maybe some of the other guys, but they're not. That's not going to bother them. I don't think.
By the way, speaking of that, tomorrow on my program, tomorrow in the locker room with Billy Schweim, we're going to talk with a great football player for the Minnesota Vikings, played running back for many years. Chuck Foreman will be joining me tomorrow, and Chuck. It was fun. I spoke with Chuck earlier in the week, and Chuck. He grew up in Maryland. He played his college football in Miami. He was a Hurricane, and then he gets drafted to the Minnesota Vikings. And remember, back in the day, they played outside in Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota.
I know. I remember the stadium.
He said it was a culture shock.
Oh, I can listen. When Brian Propp played for the Minnesota North Stars up there years ago, and I went out and visited, it was some of the snow there. It was you're driving down the road and it's walls of snow where you can't hear anything. It's like deafening. It's
right.
like it's just silence. All you hear is the tires rolling on the snow. I mean, there was some crazy weather out there.
609-403-0973 is the text board number. Josh, we have a few more text messages.
Yeah, Bill, let's bring up a couple more texts here. Mike from the Village chiming back in, by the way, guys.
Okay.
Says, when you are a tier 1 player, easy for me to say. He said peer, but I think he meant tier 1 player.
Right.
You get tier 1 money. You get to perform like a tier 1 player in the NFL with Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we lost Josh.
We lost Josh?
I'm here. I just finished reading it.
Oh,
okay.
Well, you're frozen on us.
Well, you're not frozen on the stream, so just because my video froze, I mean the audio froze, Bill.
Hey, we're working out the kinks, Josh.
Yeah, we can't hear you at this
point.
point.
We can't hear you.
Well,
that's all right.
My microphone, Bill. Come on. I mean,
your lips are moving, but we can't see.
Right. I failed my lip reading course. But anyway.
Can you hear me or can you not hear me?
Now we can.
I've been talking the whole time.
We weren't hearing you the whole time. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, well, the audience could hear me. So
right.
Did you hear Mike from the Villages follow-up? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want the other text?
Yes.
Sure.
Dan from BHT followed up, says, I only want the Bills in the Super Bowl if they can win it. I don't care about the other 3 teams.
There you go.
So, I mean, they look. You alluded to it, Scooter. People like the underdog. I do too. But yeah, I like the underdog. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, remember the run they had last year? They were down in a couple games. They came back. It was a Cinderella story, and it ended great for the Chiefs. They won the Super Bowl. I don't have a problem if the Chiefs win, because I do love watching Patrick Mahomes. He's a great quarterback. He's fun to watch. But I with the Bills.
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like I vote that way. I take the team that probably shouldn't win and say let's hope that they do something this year, because it's a great story, the Buffalo Bills this year. They have not been a good football team in recent years, and for them to turn it around, I think it's exciting.
All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home to the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, or experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609 927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. I want to remind people you can check us out today, streaming live on 97.3 ESPN, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can check us out. You can see the Lombardi Trophy that I'm holding right here. Got the Lombardi Trophy right there. Teams are playing for that. Hey, everybody knows about how harsh the winter can be on your home. You're looking to replace those old, damaged, insufficient windows. Call Steven Rizzo, Inc. I did. Steven Rizzo replaced my windows, and they look great. Steve personally returned my call, and his team was nothing but professional from start to finish. With over 30 years experience, you can't go wrong. So write this number down. Steven Rizzo at 856-547-1760. That's 856-547-1760. Be sure to check out his reviews. Ask for Steven. Be sure to check out his reviews online. Can't go with. They're pretty impressive. All right. When we return, let's talk a little Flyers hockey. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, coming up on Monday, we'll recap the Sixers weekend and the Flyers. Plus, we'll look ahead to the Eagles all-season football at 4 with Jeff Mosher. Plus, don't forget, you can watch the show live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all through 973ESPN.com. We'll see you Monday.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's sports leader.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Anything and everything and anything. If you can dream it, we can create it. Masks, hats, shirts, bags, banners, mugs, and cups. Hoodies, goodies, tees galore, sweats, gloves, and stuff. Whatever you need to stand out in the crowd. Call New Century Custom Apparel, where you'll find all your favorite custom apparel from all the leading brands. New Century, whatever you need.
Carmen's startup found an angel investor, but now they're asking for a miracle from her development team.
Hello, this is Carmen. That's exciting news. I guess we could launch early.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. I want to remind people today we are streaming live on 973ESPN.com on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can see what we're doing here. And now, listen, we got the coach. I'm very excited about my first guest today. Let's go to the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome in a legendary Super Bowl winning coach, Dick Vermeil. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Excuse me for being late here. I forgot.
Well, I text Ken Dunnick, and we became very worried about you, Coach.
No, you worry about me. I just, other than I don't. My memory's a shit. So.
Hey, Coach. A lot's going on. With changing of the coaches and. I wanted to get you on because, first of all, you're a legendary coach. People in Philadelphia to this day revere you. They love you, and we do too. You're kind of critical of, or maybe just didn't understand, a little disappointed. You were quoted as saying you're disappointed that Doug Peterson was let go. Can you expound on that for a little bit?
I'm not critical of what owners do, but I don't always agree with them. You know, they have the right to do whatever they want. I would have liked to see Doug being given another chance to coach a healthy roster. As I said in my interview on WIP the other day, which ended up in the Inquirer, was that if they had been a healthy team, they'd probably been in the playoffs. They'd won 10, 11 games. That's how I feel. You know, and people don't give enough credit for the quality contribution of quality offensive linemen to the performance of the quarterback. They just don't. They don't understand it. And I'm sure there's other things that Jeffrey considered in not rehiring Doug. I don't know what they were. And like I said, I don't think I've been on the practice field in the last 2 years. So I like Doug. I thought great job. He took us to a Super Bowl. He won it. I really admired his poise under pressure in critical situations in games, and so I thought he deserved another chance.
Coach Ramil, there's two types of coaches: coaches that are players' coaches and coaches that are tough love. And in that article written by Marcus Hayes, one of your safeties, one of your defensive guys that played for your Super Bowl team, Randy Logan, was saying that you were a tough love guy. Can you explain that Can you explain what that means?
Well, I think what he means, and other people that use that expression, is they work the hell out of you. They're tougher than hell on you because they love you, because they feel the responsibility to help you be the best you can be. And there's no easy way to be the best you can be when you're playing football without working hard and tough, because it is a combat sport on Sunday, not a contact sport. They're in combat, and you've got to be prepared for it. Hopefully, I did a pretty good job of preparing them for it.
Oh, I think you did. Now, Coach, you know, I didn't realize this, but you still remain one of the youngest head coaches hired by the Eagles in a while. At 39 years old, 39 years of age when you got hired, in 100 days when you took over in 1976. What type of challenges does Nick Sirianni face? Can you tell us a little bit about what his mindset is, what he's going to be going through? Because you were in the same situation.
Well, I think our two situations are 100% different. Okay. And I'd been a head coach in high school. I'd been a head coach in junior college. I'd been a head coach at UCLA Division I. And I'd been a coordinator in the NFL. So I think my experience was a little more extensive. Maybe not any better quality, because I think today these coaches like Nick come up in good programs and they stay there. I came up learning on my own. You know, I wasn't coaching under Andy Reid or Don Shula, or I coached 1 year under George Allen before I became the offensive coordinator at UCLA. So I didn't have a deep background in the systematic way of moving the ball offensively within the scheme. So I think he has an advantage on that. He has an advantage that he has first, second, third round draft choices his first year. And we didn't have any of those for 2 years and didn't have a first or a second our third year. And I always felt that was one reason we sort of deteriorated a little bit too, because we didn't have maturing high quality players on the roster. And, you know, players win games, not coaches. Now, coaches help them win them. But I'll tell you, you can coach the hell out of a guy who can't play. He doesn't get much better. Okay.
Hey, Coach, it's Scott McKay. You were in a similar situation years ago when you had Trent Green go down, and you had to find out whether Kurt Warner was the quarterback who could lead your team. And, you know, Doug Peterson had to make a tough decision this year to sit Carson Wentz, his franchise quarterback, and see if Jalen Hurts could lead his team. How difficult is it for a quarterback who doesn't get first team reps every week to jump in and try to lead a team?
Well, I think it's very difficult, and very few can do it. Very few can do it. As, you know, and especially true this year, without true organized team activities, without true mini camp, without a true training camp, and then the restrictions of the Players Association put on practice sessions, it's a lot tougher to prepare that second quarterback. Number one, he has to be bright as hell. He has to be able to learn by watching. Visual reps. He has to be able to focus and take a snap mentally and emotionally that your starting quarterback is taking during practice. And Todd Collins was absolutely outstanding at that for me in 5 years at Kansas City. He's first off, he is extremely bright, and he could go in a game and play without any reps because he didn't get any reps during the week and play like he'd been practicing all week. That's a unique quality, and it starts with intelligence. It starts with ability to focus on the practice field and not be distracted by teammates, standing behind the huddle and all those kinds of things. And it's also a great tribute to the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach.
We're talking with legendary Super Bowl winning coach Dick Vermeil. And Coach, I got to tell you, we had during the football season, we did the Eagles pregame show here, and we did a segment called "Where Are They Now?" And the majority, we did it in coordination with Ken Dunnick and the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine. I got to tell you, Coach, to a man, we spoke with Carl Hairston and Jerry Robinson, to name a few, and every one of your players has nothing but high praise for you. You really left an indelible mark on them, not only as players but as human beings. And I think that's what a head coach. That's what a great head coach instills in his players, like a good work ethic and stuff like that. Do you think we have that with Coach Sirianni?
Well, I hope so. First off, for me, and I appreciate the compliment, okay, but really, the impact the player had on me was significant. Now, really, we talk about legendary coach and the impact I had on my players. My players had a tremendous impact on me, and that's why I was so compassionate and determined to help them be the best they could be, even if I had to be on their butt every freaking day and drive them and push them and hug them and tell them I love them. But my obligation is to those guys. My performance was based on the desire to help them be what they had the ability to be and help them make a great living in the league for as long as they could.
Hey, Coach, it's like one of these things where what is Nick's first, other than surround himself with tremendous coaches, for his staff, what do you think his first order is going to be with this team? What do you think he's really going to go at first?
Hiring a staff.
Right.
And I think that's critical. I think that's extremely critical. And, I was fortunate. I was never told I had to keep anybody on the staff that was there when I took the job. And I did every time. I kept people on the staff. I kept people on the Ram staff that had been losing for 5 straight years. I kept the people on the Chiefs staff that only had one really lousy year. And it wasn't bad. But, and I kept them all the way back at the Eagles. I kept 2 people. But that was on my own decision to keep them, and not somebody. I kept 7 guys at UCLA. 7 guys. Smartest decision I ever made in terms of coaching. We beat the national championship football team the next year in the Rose Bowl. If I hadn't kept those 7 guys that had been running the program efficiently and doing well and coaching well, we wouldn't have done that. So anyway, but I believe it is critical that the head coach makes that decision who he hires. First off, if he doesn't have that ability to hire and then fire and someone else does, it decays the leadership responsibility image within the organization, because the players know that there's more people evaluating them than just the head coach.
And that's what's going on. I mean, that's the rumor with what's going on with the Eagles and, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. I mean, Doug Peterson wanted more say in the evaluation process and picking and choosing who his coaches were. And I guess they didn't want to give it to him. How difficult would it be? I mean, obviously they're bringing in somebody in Nick Sirianni that's never been a head coach before, and that they'll probably have more say or the ability to tell him what to do. That can't bode well. I mean, if you're the head coach, you want to be able to have more control over what goes on the day-to-day activities of a team.
Well, first off, I don't believe everything I read, and I don't believe everything I hear in the radio. I Doug Peterson never told me he couldn't hire who he wanted to or fire who he wanted to. He never told me that. The conversations I had with him, I'm not a pry guy. I don't pry in and ask questions that put coaches on the edge of being disloyal to their ownerships. I just don't do that. I don't believe in it. But, and I don't believe Carson Wentz is as much of a problem as the media is making it to be. It's just, I'll believe it when Carson Wentz stands up and speaks and tells me where he's coming from, rather than everybody interpreting and informing their own opinion. It's a little like CNN.
I'll tell you what, Coach. Listen, man, we really appreciate you taking time out of the day. And I'm excited. We got a new era now in Philadelphia moving forward. We got our first Italian coach. How about that?
Well, I know South Philly's happy, and I root for them 100%. I'm a loyal Eagles fan, and my problem is I live and die on weekends. I'm happy when they win and die when they lose, and I'm not taking, and I don't have any responsibility. I just care. It's a great guard. I think Jeffrey and Howie have done a great job. Who else has won a world championship? Who else has a great big brand stadium and all these things that they've done a good job. And I don't believe everything I read about because a lot of it is just interpretation. You know that.
Yeah.
Somebody's slanted by what he heard or by someone associated but can't say because it's off the record. I just stay away from that. Yeah. All right.
All right, Coach. Well, listen, man, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I love when you come on, and my listeners enjoy it too. Have a great day. Let's go Birds.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, there's Coach. There's legendary Coach Dick Vermeil. I mean, come on, man. He bleeds Eagle Green still, Scooter.
I know. Well, he won a Super Bowl championship with St. Louis, but his heart's still with Philadelphia. And by the way, his mother is Italian, so he's half Italian. He
said South Philly's going to be happy.
Exactly. There won't be any riots.
I love it. All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There is a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston and Kevin Kelly's down there. It's such a great family atmosphere. Become a member today. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations. I invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the main line today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue. We're going to talk a little Flyers. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Tomorrow, it's the championship round of the NFL playoffs as we bring you a special doubleheader. First, Tom Brady duels Aaron Rodgers as the Bucs take on the Packers in the NFC title game. Then it's the top two seeds in the AFC when the Kansas City Chiefs host the Buffalo Bills. Hear the playoff picture unfold right here.
Listen to the championship round of the NFL playoffs tomorrow, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM. Coverage begins at 2 p.m.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee. Those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free Train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
This is Camden Mayor Frank Moran. COVID-19 continues to threaten our community, and now is not the time to let your guard down. Continue taking every measure possible to stop the spread. Mask up, stay 6 feet apart, get tested, and respond to contact tracers. It's important to continue the fight and protect loved ones. For more updates, visit ci.camden.nj.us.
CleanRental.com, a fresh approach to uniforms, your uniform supplier. If you're a business owner, CleanRental.com asks you the following questions. 1. Are you completely satisfied with the quality of the uniform rental program you are currently receiving? 2. Are you completely satisfied with the service you are receiving from your present uniform rental company? And 3. Have you had an experience in the last 6 months where the response time to any request has been less than satisfactory? If your company with 50 employees or more, please give CleanRental.com a call at 1-800-825-3266. That's 1-800-825-3266. CleanRental.com, a fresh approach to uniforms. Give them a call today.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical. They're number one.
Hey guys, are you afraid of taking off your shirt in public? Don't be embarrassed. Just say, I love Lyle back instead with male breast reduction. Many men develop a fullness in their chest as boys that persists and even worsens as they get older. This condition is called gynecomastia, and with simple liposuction, most cases can be effectively treated. Call 856-MAKEOVER today to schedule your private consultation with Dr. Lyle and Back. That's 856-MAKEOVER or visit iloveLyleBack.com.
New year, new budgets. Every small business has unique needs. And when you partner with a Dell Technologies advisor, you get real-time tailored advice. They'll even give you a free consultation on your servers and storage devices to develop a custom solution to help improve your company's productivity. Plus, get special financing with Dell Business Credit and big savings on business computers with Intel Core processors. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Without more licensed workers, Gary's roofing business might hit its ceiling.
Hey, that new contract just got pushed up. We are going to need all hands on deck to make this happen.
Hey, Gary, you booked me on that other job next week.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Scotty McHale, 97.3 ESPN, and the mobile app. We got our text board question up. Can the Eagles' new head coach, Nick Sirianni, fix Carson Wentz? Can he do it? I hope he can, Scooter, just like Dick Vermeil said. And by the way, I love Dick Vermeil. He will have a special place in the fans of the Philadelphia fans forever, for eternity. And he's just such a great guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's one of those guys you appreciate. I mean, he puts his heart, he wears it on his sleeve. He puts his heart into everything. And like I said, he had to be tough at times, but at the end of the day, he'd say, "I love you guys." And then you can't get too close. And I think Doug Peterson's gotten too close with a couple players.
How about he said that he doesn't believe everything he sees or reads, that Doug Peterson never complained to him about about some of the things we hear in the press. It just goes to show you never know.
Well, you and I have had that.
Yeah.
We just talked about it the other day. I don't believe. I mean, there's so many stories out there that are just. I think sometimes, the media has to write something because there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing great to talk about, so they put
But
a
where
story
do these
out there.
rumors come from? Like, who's like you would think that that Coach Vermeil would be a confidant of Doug Peterson, considering that he's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's beloved in Philadelphia. And he probably talks to Vermeil, or in the beginning of his tenure as a coach, talk to Vermeil, pick his brain. And I would imagine if something wasn't going right, that he would say something to him. And when Coach Vermeil just said that he never heard any of him belly aching about that, about not being able to pick his coaches or be part of the Italian evaluation.
Well, maybe Doug wanted more than he was willing to talk to Coach Vermeil about. Maybe he wanted so much control that Howie and Jeff said, no, not interested in that at all.
You know what? I don't think Coach Vermeil would come on this radio show and say something like he talks from the heart.
I agree.
He gives it to you straight. He's not going to.
I agree, but maybe Doug was embarrassed to say, hey, this is what I really want. What do you think? Maybe he wanted too much control. And like I said, they've been through that and it didn't work out at all. So,
see, Coach Vermeil too, when he left coaching the first time, he went into the broadcast booth, and he learned a lot there by asking questions and being like a journalist in a sense, being inquisitive and finding out stuff. So he knows both sides of the dynamic there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, you could have given him another year. And what if he fails next year? Now you just wasted a year.
But like Coach Vermeil said, you don't know because of the pandemic. You don't know because of all the injuries. And by the way, Coach Vermeil also said that if it wasn't for the injuries and the COVID, he thought that they'd win 10 or 11 games this year and go deep in the playoffs. He said it, Scooter.
Oh, I know he said it.
He also
Do you believe it?
Yeah, because I think that look, he can say it because he wasn't the head coach. He can say it because it's not like it would be if Doug Peterson said it'd be like him making excuses, right? So Vermeil can say that.
Right. Well, it's easy to say, but
Doug Peterson can't say because it looked like he's belly aching. You know what I mean? But the fact is that they had to overcome so many injuries, it affected them.
Well, and like everybody has to go through that. And yes, we were brutalized by it. We had some big injuries, big time injuries. We had no receivers. We had no offensive linemen. We had really no running backs at points. So I didn't see us winning 10 games this year, no matter what. I mean, could we have won more games? Sure. But we might have been able to be 500, but we just weren't a good team this year. And Doug fell on the sword for that.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Ken, the new Eagles' new head coach, Nick Sirianni, fixed Carson Wentz. Josh, we got a couple other text messages that just came in.
Yeah, let's first make sure you guys can hear me.
I can.
Yes.
All right, good. Now that we know that you can hear me, text board, we have one text that says, Jeffrey Lurie didn't have intentions of firing Doug Peterson, but the future of the team was not agreed upon, and that's why he was let go.
I agree to that. I mean, I agreed. I mean, but here's the thing. Once again, I'm going to go back to what Coach Vermeil just said. He never heard Doug Peterson complain about that he wasn't able to be a part of the Italian evaluation or picking his coaches.
Well, I think, and let me ask you guys real quick this. Isn't that back to what Vermeil also said, which is he doesn't pay attention to the media sometimes, not because he doesn't care what the media says, but because sometimes there are people with agendas, right? They get out there and put out information based on their agenda. It's like the person who says, I have a certain belief. I'm going to go find information based on that belief. And then I'm going to go find a source to verify that for me.
Yeah, but there's also other people that are told things from anonymous sources and they take that information and run with it.
Right. Like for example, what was his name? Rob Motti. Rob Motti has been on the other side of this Carson Wentz stuff. He has claimed that a lot of the stuff out there about Carson Wentz is not as negative because his sources tell him a different story. So it's one of those deals. Well, who do you believe? Do you believe one person who's?
Well, I'll tell you who I believe. It's somewhere in the middle.
Well, that's the way it works. There's three sides to every story. There's, the defendant, the prosecution, and then there's the truth.
I think there's always one side to the story, the truth. That's what it is. You could hear different sides, but listen, he probably wanted more control than they were willing to give, and that's where it ended. And we've heard that. We've heard that there was basically in the final exit interview, they weren't going to get along. So, and listen, I haven't heard anybody begging to have Doug Peterson as their head coach. And in fact, to the point where he's going to take a year off. So
I don't think that, first of all, there aren't that many. How many offensive coordinator jobs are available right now? Maybe like 6.
He did interview for the Seattle OC job.
Right.
That's a step back, though.
Well, but a lot of people do that. A lot of guys who are head coaches go back to coordinator. That's not new.
Yeah, that's not unusual.
No.
But I wouldn't go like obviously now Indianapolis has a position. You think Frank Reich or Doug Peterson would go work under Frank Reich as an offensive coordinator? I don't think so.
Well, we've seen plenty of guys work under people they've had worked for before. To me, I think the problem for Doug is that he got let go so late in the process that was always going to be an uphill battle for him. So it's probably better for him to just do what every other head coach is. Take a year off, go on TV for a couple months. Good job.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Josh, we have one more text?
Yeah, we have a texter who says, Nick Sirianni is only 39 years old. I think a veteran staff would help his learning curve tremendously as a head coach. They could have struck gold and had their coach for 30 years like the Steelers and Patriots do, or they could have signed a dud. Only time will tell, but hopefully the Eagles have stability head coach moving forward.
I agree with that, Scooter.
Yeah, I think Nick Sirianni is going to hire a bunch of guys that he worked under in the past.
And listen, you heard Coach Vermeil say that, and even also earlier in the summer when we had Carl Peterson on, Dick Vermeil's general manager, he surrounded himself with great people.
That's the only way you're going to win.
That's the key to do it.
You do. You have to put yourself in a position to win, and doing that is by get yourself great coaches. Like I said, Jim Caldwell's a guy that Nick Sirianni worked under in the past, and he'd certainly be a good guy for the offensive coordinator job. I think the defensive coordinator job is going to be the toughest decision, and you got to make sure that one's good because the defense is not like it's been playing great. That needs a lot of help too.
All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board. I'll take a couple more text messages. Can Nick Sirianni fix Carson Wentz? Yes or no? Give us a reason why. The second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Make sure you say hello to Radio Ron Ralston when you get down there. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees it fit for your business, send an email to Ken at jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. We always want to thank Ken Dunnick and the Jersey Man magazine for providing us great guests throughout the football season with our Where Are They Now? And, of course, he's a great friend of Coach Dick Vermeil. All right, when we return, we'll talk a little Flyers, little Sixers, and then we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Here's a long shot by Shake. It's gone again. Shake Milton is on fire. Whoa.
The Sixers are in Detroit to face the Pistons.
Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
That's right. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Have your employees been naughty or nice? At New Century Custom Apparel, we have your screen printed or embroidered jackets, sweatshirts, ice scrapers, calendars, and thousands of other cool stuff. Call us at 856-810-9696. If you need custom apparel to promote your company or brand, we'll put your logo on fleece, outerwear, and more before the holiday rush. Call 856-810-9696 or online at newcenturyapparel.com.
Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Rendezvous Pizza, there's one right nearby. Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Baldy here, Brian Baldy here for the Insurance Doctors. You know, when fires, floods, storms cause property damage to your home, you need a company with 40 years of experience as property loss advisors. I know my yard got crushed this year by a flash storm. Damage to my yard, my fences, it needed to be restored. The Insurance Doctors came in and they got me a great settlement. With cold weather and storms just around the corner, you know, wind, storms, ice, they can cause broken pipes, roof damage, down trees. Let the Insurance Doctors work for you. Call them today at 856-874-8377 or 1-800-969-6851 or visit the website at insurancedoc.com. That's InsureDoc, INSURDOC.com, and tell them Baldy sent you.
Start off the new year with a new ride from Rossi Honda. Get first time ever 0% up to 60 months. Add in our free oil changes with tire protection. Only at Rossi. Or lease a new Honda CR-V for only $199 a month. Or lease a new Honda Pilot for only $275 a month. Online at RossiHonda.com. We treat you better. Period.
See dealer for details.
Every play could be the play that matters for you. Whether it's a touchdown, a first down, or the next reception, with live betting from Unibet. Live betting options for every moment of the game. Sign up today and get $250 risk-free. Download the app or visit nj.unibet.com. Unibet Sportsbook. Crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in New Jersey. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Here's some skinformation we know you'll love. Ulta Beauty's Love Your Skin event is happening right now, so give your skincare routine the TLC it deserves. Now's the perfect time to discover and try products from Clinique, Dermalogica, and Peach & Lily. Get up to 50% off items from these must-have brands and more, including Ulta Beauty exclusives. Visit us in-store, online, or try curbside pickup today. Shop the Love Your Skin event now through January 23rd. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
We're in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Today we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. 97.3 ESPN, the locker room. Scooter McKay went pretty well so far. I mean, a little couple glitches here and there, but we made it through.
Always seems like when we change something up, there's always a glitch on my end. You know, like I couldn't hear today, so it worked out.
It was cool. At least I could bring a prop with me, right? I got my Super Bowl trophy. We're gonna try to. How you like that? Isn't that cool?
That's cool, man.
Fans out there. All right. Flyers talk real quick. We got about 10 minutes left of the show. The Flyers, Scooter, played pretty well the other day. Just defense. We alluded to it a little earlier. Defense, and Carter Hart hasn't been playing well, but I still think this team is poised to go deep. I like the contributions they're getting from Giroux and Voracek right now. The injury bug though is starting to hit them now as well. How concerned are you about that? They've got Couturier out with ribs, Morgan Frost with a dislocated shoulder, and Myers has got what's Myers has? He has a fractured rib, dislocated shoulder. Yeah. So the injury bug started to hit them a little bit.
Yeah, and I think when we were talking about the season before it got started, I said, listen, this is a team that looks pretty good, but they've got to stay healthy. And, you get a young kid like, Morgan Frost comes in when Sean Couturier went down. He gets an opportunity to show what he can do, and boom, dislocates his shoulder right in the, which is just tough for a young kid to go through that. But I think we're seeing, like I said, Carter Hart, I think, is struggling, and I think we're seeing really missing Matt Niskanen has been tough, a loss for this defense, and Sean Couturier being a defensive forward, the Selke winner last year. You're missing two guys that are coming back and helping out, and that's going to be a problem for them.
Hey, did you see? I saw a tweet that Couturier put that. How about if the Niskanen came out of retirement to come back and help this team?
Yeah, like what is he really doing? I mean, it was kind of a shock that he came out and said he was going to retire, but I don't know if they're ready for that because Philip Myers will be back.
Yeah, I like Philip Myers. All right, Scooter, how about this? Did you know that Claude Giroux played his 609th game as the Flyers captain?
Yeah, that's a lot.
And guess what? He's going to pay. Bobby Clark leads it with 610 games played, and he will pass. Giroux will pass Bobby Clark Tuesday night in New Jersey.
Clarky's probably going to call Fletcher and have him take that C off his jersey for the next game.
And how about your boy Voracek? He scored his 700th point the other night.
He's it's funny. He's frustrating at times to watch.
He sure is. He turns the puck over like you read about. And I want to just reach through the TV and wring his neck. But then he makes some nice passes.
Oh, his passes are tremendous. I mean, really is. That's why he's been up there in the league with assists for the last so many years. He's but they're like, it seems like they're meaningless at times. Like sometimes they're great passes and you get a goal off it, but sometimes it just seems like, I don't know. He's frustrating, but he is what he is,
And then, another bright spot for the Flyers on Thursday night was the fact that Nolan Patrick, he was 10 for 12 on faceoffs. That's like 83%.
That's huge.
That's huge, man.
Because you're missing Couturier, who's probably your best faceoff
right.
guy.
For him to be able to
step up and after not playing for a year and a half is amazing. So he could be the turn. He and Oscar Lindblom, who they obviously missed for the last year, could be the turning point for this team. But, if you're going to score 4 or 5 goals a game to win the games, it's going to be tough. Like Carter Hart's goals against average has risen 1.25 since last year.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not good.
And how about this? One last thing, the Flyers, before we 1 minute talk about the Sixers, is about Elliott. He saves 41 saves the other night to get his 41st shutout?
Yeah, that's the bright spot right there.
Unbelievable? 40
saves, yeah. So that's pretty cool that that you have a good backup ready to come in at any time.
Of course, you can listen to the Sixers tonight on 97.3 ESPN, and you can catch them later on tonight. The Flyers play the Bruins tonight. Their game's at 7 o'clock. Sixers play the Pistons. The Pistons stink. They're 3-12. So hopefully the Sixers can run the score up on them.
Yeah, as far as the Sixer goes to, I am still confused with Ben Simmons. I really am.
Hey, man, the Celtics made a run last night, and he put the stop to it.
Well, this is why I'm confused. I mean, because has anybody ever explained to Ben that scoring the most points wins? I mean, because it's like he had 4 points going into the fourth quarter last night. 4 points for the number one guy picked 4 years ago in the draft in the whole world. And then all of a sudden he turns it on and ends up with 15 basically wins him the game because he was aggressive. And the more aggressive he gets at going to the net, the more chances he's going to have to dish the ball out to the wings and get some threes. So I don't know why he doesn't play like that for 4 quarters.
All right, Scooter. Well, that's the fastest 2 hours in radio right there. You got Josh Henning and Sports Bash Saturday coming up next. Josh, what do you got?
Got a lot of Sixers and Eagles talk. Andy McNamara from Sportsnet joining me, as well as former NBA scout Brian O'Ringer.
It's got it all going on. Then we got Duke and Louisville later on. The Sixers and Pistons tonight. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
2, 1.
On some models, excludes Corvette with GMF financing, excludes fire sale. See dealer for details.
Start the new year in a new Chevy at Bennett Chevy. Come see all the hot new 2021s and get our famous